to be Sue Williams as well. There's always this mystery and conspiracy theory. If you did listen to my prior episode, I've been meaning to do this part two for quite some time, but I will definitely get into some of the important details I'd like to think that are maybe important or maybe not important. It's all an opinion. So before I really deep dive into my Gabfest, I wanted to say Killcast. Hopefully, I don't have to mention it for the millionth time, but this will be the last time for a while as I'm moving on to a new movie project. But Killcast is now out on DVD as well. So make sure you go and get Killcast on DVD. It's also on video on demand as well. They only made so many Blu-rays, so I do believe there's tons of DVD versions out there. So I play the news anchor in that. So if you want to go check out Killcast, by all means, that would be much appreciated. So I wanted to dive into Karen Sue Hamilton because I found her life to be quite a mystery, as most of these episodes are. And down below, I'm going to link a website that gives a basic rundown of her life and time and career and where she lived and approximately where she lived. So now, if you go to the website, which is in the description below, it gave Karen Sue Hamilton, aka Sue Williams, it gives her former address. So if you go look into that now, I looked at the Google map of her old house, and I would like to think, trying to put my mind in a time frame of like this is the 60s and there's less buildings, there's less bushes, a little less of everything at the time. So if you go to the link below, it gives the address of where she lives. And if you look around the house, it's a very small, tiny house. So I would like to think, in my opinion, that someone perhaps could go in the back and go through the back door or through the bushes, because I did do a peripheral view of the house from above, and I like I said, I try to imagine it's in the 60s, so there's a little less of everything, I should say. So I think that someone could have came in the back and then basically go in her house and shot her, or maybe that wasn't the case. This is just an opinion. Allegedly shot her, but when you go to the link in the description, it says Karen Sue Hamilton, aka Levitt. She dies at age 23 at 1:40 a.m. in the morning. So this is late at night. I would like to think, in my opinion, that if somebody is out there going to perhaps do something sinister, then they would do it late at night. And I looked from her address, from where she lived, and I looked at the proximity of the nearby highways. Now, I do believe if you go down to the link where the address for her house is, and if you put it in Google Maps, you can see it's a small house. And if you go down the street and you just keep going down a bit, make two lefts or so anyway, there's a nearby highway, which is a pretty quick intersection. I would like to think, in my opinion, if someone is allegedly going to do this, they'd probably come from the back of her house at 1:40 a.m., shoot her quickly, then leave from the back and then go back, because there's all these tiny little roads that venture off onto the main highway. And I would like to think, from where she lives compared to where the nearby highway is, it would probably take about maybe a minute to get off onto the highway from her house to the nearby intersection, which would maybe be a minute or under a minute. So, allegedly, in my opinion, someone could go up there, shoot her quick, and then boom, drive off into their car that's nearby, and then go to the main intersection into the highway. And I do believe the highway looks at the Hollywood sign of sorts. So they could pretty much just go and do this quickly, leave, and be done with it. Now, a lot of other Sue Williams fans have the opinions that I do. They think it's very strange that she offed herself in the chest. Now, I do not believe that she would do that. She seemed to have quite a bit going on for her, And there's these comments in the Find a Death forum about Sue Williams, and some of them really just strike me as a little bit odd. And you can't help but think, well, if someone perhaps allegedly did have a hand in her death, you can't help but feel like maybe these people are still alive because of their weird narratives that they're trying to ensue online, which is so odd. This one person on Find a Death forum, which relates to Karen Sue Hamilton, aka Sue Williams, and they were basically just going like, you don't know what you're talking about. Of course she's still alive. She has kids and grandkids. So if she has kids and grandkids, then she's obviously still alive. And I just thought, what, because she has kids and grandkids, that means, oh, okay, she has grandkids, she must be still alive. Which is such a weird excuse with no foundation or merit to like insinuate such a strong thing of like going, okay, yeah, she's a living being. I mean, how can you guys dare insinuate that Sue Williams is dead? I mean, she has kids and grandkids, so if she has all of those, then she's obviously alive. Not taking into account that at the time of death, when Sue Williams did die, she did have children. So I'm assuming this was in the 60s. Her children obviously grew up and probably had children of their own, and thus, therefore, being those are her grandchildren. Now, if you go to a short YouTube video, it's called Sue Williams Speaks. And I do believe in the comments section somebody mentioned this in Find a Death form. Anyway, if you go to a short video clip, it's a beach party movie that Sue Williams did back in the day. Somebody comments on the Sue Williams Speaks. It's a short video clip. You go type that in, and if you go look in the comments section, somebody says, "That's my grandma." It's funny what the internet says or whatever. So I took the liberty and time to go look at this person's YouTube page, and their location definitely in some of their videos have said they are in the Los Angeles area, in California area. So I'm assuming this is her grandson, which I do not doubt this is her grandson, and that Sue Williams obviously has passed away, and her kids have had kids, and they're now, she has grandchildren, rest in peace. But however, her grandchildren are now getting older, and I did go to this Sue Williams Speaks, and I did look at this comment that said, "That's my grandmother." So I looked at his YouTube page, and I do not doubt, again, like I said, that that is his grandmother. But if you take the time and liberty to look at some of his videos that he has posted on his YouTube, they are very, very, very strange to say the least. I mean, I'd like to think I can be an oddball at times and be pretty crazy and eccentric and funny and wild, but this is next level odd. His page is, I'm sorry if you are watching this, brother, but this is all an opinion. But I just wanted to say that I find his YouTube page to be just quite a bit odd considering some of the things that he has been posting. And it is very strange because some of the videos that he posted on his YouTube page are just making no sense. They'll just be like, well, um, I forget what they were, but for a quick example of one of his YouTube videos, it was like, going fast, zipper tied up. Oh wow, I'm going wow, wow, wow. Like just all these rambled random words scribbled together, and he's saying them, which is just so odd when none of it's making sense. And he seems to be, unfortunately, in my opinion, not mentally right. And just because he's in that kind of mind frame, I do not doubt that this is his grandmother. But however, I take into account that he would not be a good, reliable person to talk to about his grandmother because of the three videos I do believe he posted on his video page. It almost, I'm going to sound crazy for saying this, but it almost seems some kind of pre programmed. I don't know. I don't want to say it, but like the videos that he's posting are very, very odd. There's only three, and you can't help but be, in my opinion, as well concerned about him because I did not gather a lot of what he was saying in his videos. It was the one video, like I said, it was like going zip, and then I moved up when, whoa, I can't believe all these things are happening, and then moving the case, and then all these flowers are here, and then I'm going upstairs, just random words scribbled together, and obviously I'd like to think that somebody that is having some problems and issues, in my opinion. Again, I do not doubt that Sue Williams is his grandmother. I just do not think he would be, unfortunately, a reliable person to talk to or be in the right mind frame to go, hey, could we just have a moment of discussion of your grandmother? Perhaps someone in his inner family circle could maybe speak on his behalf or give me some better insight on Sue Williams. But yeah, and also in his YouTube description, and it's basically an information blurb that we all have, but in his YouTube description, again, it was like a bunch of random words scribbled together for his YouTube description. It's like sea, fast, surfing, backpack, love, all, peace, joy. And it was like all these scribbled words as his description. It was almost like the way he talks. Now, on a side note, this is going to be random as hell, but sometimes when I go and look up music videos or look at lyric videos that were posted for, maybe quite some time years ago, you always get some weird person in the comments section typing, or I mean commenting these random scribbled words put together, just kind of like how Sue Williams' grandson is. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, in my opinion, I have stumbled upon a few music videos or lyric videos, and you kind of read the comments, and over the years I have found quite a few people to just put random words together on the most random shit. It's like, this is a lyric video, what does this have to do with anything? And so I guess if this is Sue Williams' grandson, a lot of his scribbled words reminded me of some of those comments I would see randomly on lyric videos, and you'd see the comments like it'd be like, "Love going up door, happy, opening time," like random shit, just like nothing makes sense. So, do you guys ever see those on like music videos or some random video you're watching, and it's a bunch of random scribbled together words, like all these random words in one spot? I would like for someone to kind of clear that up for me, because Sue Williams' grandson is kind of really conveying that in a weird way. Like I said, this could just be a theory in my opinion, but there's almost some kind of controlled, in my opinion, just something's controlling him, or maybe not controlling him, to make him perhaps sound like he's so out of his mind that nobody would believe a word he says. Because if you go to his YouTube page, now I know I'm rambling and going on, but to find his YouTube page, you would need to go to the Sue Williams Speaks short video clip that is on YouTube, and then go to the comments section and then look at his videos, and it really adds up to what I'm saying. And it's like, damn, just when I think I'm on a lead, I get somebody, unfortunately, in my opinion, that seems to be out of their mind. Like, he's like doing some weird random shit. None of it makes sense. And it's like, you did not post that thinking that was a good idea. But he obviously did, because it's still up. And yeah, I don't doubt that that is his grandmother at all. But however, it's sad, because just when I'm on like a paper trail of trying to find somebody that can give their thoughts and opinions on this, I get the one person that does lead back to her that's just, you know, and again, the way they act is like some foreigner, in my opinion, that comments on lyric videos, and like they add scribbled together words on lyric videos or music videos, and all these words that they're scribbling together, commenting, have literally nothing to do at all with the video that they're commenting on. And I'm kind of getting the same similar vibe from Sue Williams' grandson. And I did do some research also on Sue Williams' house. Now, a lot of people, I don't know how they get so nosy and find out all these things, but people on Find a Death Forum also gave me the information on, like, hey, this guy says he's your grandson. And they also told me about the house being demolished in 2007, which just kind of strikes some bells with me, the year 2007, which I thought was kind of interesting, because I do believe Alyssa Bridges' friend, Edward Neum, or whatever the heck, he died in 2007. So, in my opinion, which this is all an opinion, I'm not going off any merit of truth, just an alleged thought I'm having. But it seems weird. The house gets demolished in 2007. I want to say middle of 2007, and then Edward Neum, I do believe, passed away at the beginning, I think, of 2007. So, in my opinion, alleged opinion, it's like, well, all these weird things associated with Playboy, like this house being demolished, and then Neum dying. That just could be a coincidence. Now, since I did some time in research on Sue Williams's Sue Williams's house, I do believe that her house has been sold over 20 times or more in 25 years. And I look at the record of her house being sold. For example, one year someone will buy it, the next year they will sell it. And then this goes on for about 20 years or more, which I find very odd. It's like new people are moving in and then literally they'll sell it within a year or two or three. But it goes on and on and on. You got to remember there's about 20 people that have, or more, since 1960s or more, that have literally bought in this house. And I want to per se more so in the 2000s. People who bought in this Sue Williams house, I've noticed it'll be sold, and then the next year someone will live in it, and they'll literally live in it for a year because you can see the timestamps of when they're sold and when people move in. So this has went on for quite a few times, even after the house has got demolished. I did notice the house did have similar selling features, as in new people will move in and then a year later they'll move out. And it always seems to be roughly a year they'll move in and then move out. So I don't know, maybe her spirit is still haunting the place. Just as a side note, because we always think those things in our head, right? So, but I do find it odd that the house has been sold for quite a few times over the years. People will buy it, then sell it. Buy it, they'll literally only live there for a short period of time and then move off and go somewhere else. I did notice one time someone did buy it for about, I want to say, over $1 million or so, and then a year later, they were selling it for about $600,000. So that's weird. You buy it for $1 million to sell it for $600,000. That tells me they want it out of there quick, because you wanted to really just lower the price just to get someone to move the fuck on it so you could sell it quick. Because that is, I thought that was weird. They bought it for, I think, in my opinion, I gotta say, I think in my opinion they bought it for around maybe $1 million or over $1 million, and then a year later or so they sell it for around 600 grand. So I thought that was very odd, and like maybe they just wanted to get out of there. But yeah, the house has been demolished in 2007, and even after the fact, this house will get listed and then sold, and then people live there, and then this goes on for quite some time. Like I find that very odd. Like usually people, especially older people, they would like to maybe stay put for quite a few years in one spot, not move. But every time somebody does take ownership over the house, they seem to only own it for a short period of time before they want to go and sell it. So I thought that was very weird. So when I got to the house being demolished in 2007, it was ringing some bells about Alyssa Bridges, and I thought, well, geez, it's been some time since I've looked up some Alyssa Bridges information, and I wanted to say some of the information I found on Alyssa Bridges. I am astounded. I'm pretty shocked that I missed such important details about her life, and I can't wait to share it with you guys in my next episode. So thank you for tuning in, and I hope you guys tune in the next one. The next one's going to be pretty interesting. I didn't think Alyssa Bridges led a life that she did, but I missed some important details that I can't wait to share with you guys. I mean, I thought I covered everything that there was to cover on Alyssa Bridges, but no, there is quite a bit more on Alyssa Bridges that I found out, and wow, I did not think, like, usually when I do these research, I'm very I'm I can be very, OCD about it. Like I get right into it, and the fact that I missed a couple pieces of important, big information on Alyssa Bridges is definitely going to be one of my next episodes for this season 3 here. I'm so excited to do the other episodes for you guys because I think that most of these topics, like I always say, are not talked about or talked about very often. So everything I've just mentioned in this video is not to defame anyone. It's just having my own thoughts and opinions on public figures. Now, before I end this again, another promo for this, but yes, Killcast is out. I would really appreciate it if you guys went and got it on DVD, but it's also on video on demand, so you can rent it for like a day in case you don't want to get a DVD. They don't make the Blu-rays anymore, but yes, it's on video on demand. I do believe on SRS Cinema's website if you want to watch Killcast. I play the news anchor in that, so I got to give a good promo for that. So please go check it out. Buy the DVD if you can. I have a role on that, and I'm excited to be doing another movie role here, kind of horror theme, mystery related, but more of an 80s themed type of movie. So I'll get into that eventually. But yes, I will be doing the Alyssa Bridges episode next because I thought I covered all the important details that there was to talk about Alyssa Bridges, but I was sadly mistaken. There was quite a few big chunks of information that I missed that are made me raise an eyebrow because when I looked at the house being demolished in 2007, yada yada yada, it made me wonder what was going on with Alyssa Bridges again. So we'll be doing that one, I think, for the next one. So tune in for Alyssa Bridges episode. I'm very excited. And then I'm going to be perhaps down the line talking about Australian Playboy mysteries. Now, I feel like I've covered all the American topics and all the models. So we'll maybe get into the underbelly of the underworld of Australian Playboy. So that should be quite interesting and fascinating. And then one day down the line, I would like to do Playboy Mysteries Taiwan because there's a lot of things that we don't even know about, as you can see from my page, or that are not talked about. So I'm very excited to do those. Again, Killcast, go check it out when you can. I'm very excited to be doing this next horror project. And go check out my free audiobook on justafrenzy.com and tune into the next one.